Okay, we are live. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Daria.
Hi, Sophie. How are you today?
Good. I just realized we did not do the name at the bottom, but that's okay.
It's okay. You don't know us already. We don't need to say who
Exactly,
we
right?
are anymore.
Yes, we are so known.
I was having this interesting conversation this morning that I wanted to share with you, and since
Okay.
you already started the video, I'm going to share it here.
Hmm.
You know how we tend to doubt ourselves? Like a
Just a
little
little
bit,
bit.
like a little bit.
Yeah.
And uh, uh, and I was looking at that, I was like, you know what? Every time we go into the doubt, I've heard this
Yeah.
amazing woman say that, Simone Milasas with Joy of Business. Every time you doubt yourself, you stopped everything you created. Every time you doubted the creation, you stopped the creation. Now you have to start it again. So no wonder we have so much start and stop mode going on in all our lives and all our areas that if
Yeah.
we stop doubting, would have been so much easier. And then let me say one more thing about that. I'm so excited about this right now. Is I realized that I actually misapplied and misidentified the doubt as a question. So if I'm in the doubt all the time, then I have to be in the question. So I manipulated myself into the doubt to be in the question.
Exactly. And I was going to tell you how many of us actually like to stop and start. How many of us actually like to get over something because isn't that what this reality is telling us? Like we actually create when we get over it, right?
Exactly. So what if we could create a different reality now that would allow us to be all of us and be that loud being that we are without having to doubt ourselves, without having to stop and start and actually go further and further and further. Where would can we be in 10 years if we didn't stop ever?
Yeah. And that's very different. So acknowledging how different that is, but not necessarily stopping it because it's so different.
Yeah.
Because also, like, one of the reasons you and I love to talk is that we're aware of how different we are and we're comfortable with that. And we don't make each other weird about being different. So it's easy for us. But I know that, like, for those of you who don't know, I'm currently going through divorce with my husband, and it's like all my girlfriends feel like, how you doing? Are you okay? Are you handling okay? It's okay to cry. And I'm like, what if I don't want to cry? What if I don't want to be miserable? I get it. Like, I'm supposed to be this or be that. And when I am, but what if I'm not? What if it's easy?
And
What if it was,
how much of other people's point of view about how you're supposed to feel puts you in the doubt of what you're creating.
yes, 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 that's true. So that's actually more present for me because I don't really have a lot of self-doubts for myself, but what I'm perceiving is that I get the doubts that people have about me and I make those real.
So everything that is times a Godzilla will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, Monkey, Bapak, Paranachos, Boizmans, everywhere we made doubt the source of a question, the source of creation. Let's destroy and uncreate it all, please.
Yes, good and bad, right and wrong, puck and pod, all nines, boys, shorts, and beyonds.
It's interesting how people say, well, you're supposed to feel this way, you're supposed to feel that way, you have to grieve. What if we had to celebrate? Like, what if every day we could celebrate our life and living? And this morning I woke up and I was like, I thought about Ernest Hemingway, an author who wrote a book called The Movable Feast.
Yes.
What if you could take what if your life was a movable feast where that you could take anywhere you go? And then I came home just right now from outside, and I was like, I'd like some iced tea. And then I started drinking out of an iced tea can, and then I'm like, you know what? I want to celebrate me. I'm going to pour my iced tea into the wine glass. And my body feels so much more joyous as I'm drinking this tea out of out of a wine glass.
I
Now there's a
know.
different energy to it. Like, which one feels lighter to you? Which one
Yeah, no, the
makes
wine
you
glass
more
is amazing.
excited?
Yeah. You know, it's funny, this morning I was rushing to get my kids to school and I was really, really hungry because I didn't have the time to eat breakfast. And as I was hungry, my body was like giving me all the signals, you have to stop and eat something because I was getting so and so much more and more stressed. So I said to myself, you know what? I can stretch time, and even if we're late, it doesn't matter. I'm going to eat. And then, of course, we were not late, like it was instant. But it's like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I celebrate my body? Why wouldn't I enjoy because of a clock? That's ridiculous.
Exactly. And that's one thing that I realized as I was driving back home from my meeting. I was like, oh wait, I only ate one croissant with a blue cheese this morning. That's pretty much it. I probably should be eating right now. And then I stopped. I was like, wait,
I should.
buddy, would you like to ingest any food right now? And I it just got feel like contractive and very heavy, and it's not something that goes, yeah, that please. That you're not getting excited over it, that it might be not true for you. So I was like, oh, buddy, do you want something to drink? And it was like, yes, that please. So I went and I got myself a tea. It's like, wow, this is incredible. We have these points of view that make us doubt what we do and prevent us from celebrating the life and living that we could have if we were in the question with our body and everything else around and never have any conclusions.
Yes. And also, when you were talking, one thing I realized is how much we give doubts power and significance. So, like, everybody I talk to who tells me about their doubts, whether it's a client or a friend, I can tell that they're aware that these are not real. Like, they're doubting themselves, but they're not making them real. However, they're still stopping themselves. They're still giving themselves crap about those doubts or mistreating their bodies or mistreating other people because of those doubts. And I'm like, what will it take for you to just, okay, great, I have that doubt, and then move on? Because you're going to be aware of it, right?
So true.
Okay, so we were talking. Oh no, I forgot. Never mind. It just flew. So are you doubting yourself, Daria, or are you just aware of people's doubts?
Actually, the second was lighter.
Yes.
So it's funny how it's a 90% of our life. When we think that something is happening with us, within our life, with our emotions and physical body, we right away think it's ours. But really, what if we went and asked a question? Is this mine? Just like what you asked me now. Like, is this your doubt or is it somebody else's doubt you're aware of? I'm like, oh, okay, the second one is lighter. So what if we could ask that question for everything in our day?
Yes. And I want to talk about money here because every time I tell this to my clients, they say to me, well, not everyone, but a lot of them say, well, I'm looking at my bank account and I'm seeing this, so that's real. Wait, so you're letting a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper or a computer screen dictating what your life is going to be? I mean, that's insane. And actually, that's what I wanted to say earlier. I was reading on Facebook this morning, and oh my gosh, I was like, why is everybody making everything wrong? Like, there was like maybe one piece that made me smile, besides your post there, yeah.
Thank you.
There was just like one thing that made me smile, and everybody else was like, how can this happen? Even this beautiful man wrote a poem about being OCD and being in love. And everybody was like, it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's going to make you cry. So I was like, okay, 3 minutes long, I'll write it, right? And the 2/3 of the poem is beautiful. It's like how falling in love got him over his OCD and all of that. And then at the end, it's about how the girl, stopped loving him and how desperate he is. And it ended there. And I'm like, wait a second, so you're saying that somebody else's choice is making you miserable. Wait, hold on here. It's like a bank account is not going to dictate whether you're happy or not. A woman loving you or being with you is not going to dictate whether you're happy or not. You get to choose that. You get to decide what's your life. You get to decide how much money you have. You get to decide who is in your life, not the opposite.
Yes, and what if doubt is one of the sources that actually destroy the capacity to create and be happy? Because if we didn't doubt that we are capable of creating more money, the bank account, the number in the bank account would not be significant, because you would have known that you can create more if you choose to.
True.
If you did not doubt that you can be happy on your own and you are a great person and everybody wants you and you are happy with yourself, then there would be no doubt that somebody will come along, even if that person might not, the person you're thinking about at this moment might not be available forever.
Yes. So
to be with you.
Yes. So actually oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm so excited. So I actually got the concept of receiving this week, because I was very lucky to have a lot of people come to me and say how amazing I was at what I was doing. And, this is, I mean, I do a good job at what I do. I'm used to hearing that I'm good at it. But this was the first time that I actually got that they were sincerely thanking me for being good at what I do, and not just saying it because that's what you're supposed to do, not because I helped them fix a problem, but because they really appreciated it. And then I was able to see that until I get that, I'm not able to appreciate how good people are. I'm not able to appreciate the contribution people are to my life. So it's like, how much money can I really receive from others if I can't really appreciate how good I am at what I do, or just being me, like how good I am at being me. So that was just like, we were talking. Go ahead.
Now, this is the second element that contributes to being frozen by your bank account, being frozen by somebody not responding to your feeling, being frozen by what's going on in the world, is that non-receiving of you. Once you start receiving you, you are able to create more of that in the world. Dalai Lama said, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yes.
Be the receiving you wish to see in the world.
Yes, and you're right. It's all about acknowledging us, acknowledging ourselves, acknowledging who we're being first before the outside world comes in. And I'm just so excited now. But it's true. Like, the doubt to me is almost like the blindfold that we put on ourselves so that we can see the amazing gift that we are.
Well, are we allowed in this society, the way we are raised, and to actually see and appreciate ourselves?
Okay, so that's an interesting
point of view.
No, actually, I'm French, and one of the reasons why I moved from France to America, and I'm pretty sure a lot of French people are going to relate to this, is because in France, they are overly critical. And they truly do it from a place.
And Russian people would not know anything about that.
Okay. So there's just a whole bunch of culture where it's like, if you're being critical, you're being loving. So they've associated with, like criticizing everything about you, your hair, your clothes, the way you talk, what you do, etc., as a way of showing you how much they love you. And I really couldn't be with that. So I just went away 3,000 miles across the globe to create my own life. But now I'm coming back to France. I'm going back there more and more, and I really want to appreciate the French people. So for me, it's critical to not make that criticism real, and not make what they're saying real. Like, not only just for me, but for anything else. I hear a lot of comments about politics right now in France, and I get it. People want things to change. Totally get it. Am I going to buy into whatever is good or bad? Then no, I'm just going to be, oh, okay, you want this to change. Cool. Does that make
You know,
sense?
to you talking about this just gave me an interesting idea.
Hmm.
If we recognize what's true for us,
Mm-hmm.
then not neither criticism nor other people's points of view or concepts that we know are not true for us would be significant. So if somebody criticizes you and says you have to wear hair on this side, not on that side, you would go, yes, thank you. You would receive it and go further. And they'll be like, yeah, but you said you're gonna wear that this way. No, I acknowledged your point of view about that, and yes, you're right, and I'm choosing to do differently. Then you have the tenacity of you have the stirring of you present in a life where nothing can actually shake you.
And you don't even have to disagree with these people.
Exactly. You don't have to just say, yes, that's right, you're right, and go and do what works for you. What
Yeah.
is true for you? And I was always functioning from a place of criticism, being motivated by the criticism. And once now I've learned what's true for me, criticism doesn't work for me anymore. But
Yeah.
in the same way it used to work, it doesn't motivate me anymore. But I just acknowledge that this is what they would like to see me doing or being. That's great. Is this something that's going to contribute to my life and living? And is this something that will make my life better, greater in 5, 10, and 20 years? And if it feels yucky and heavy, I don't do it. And if it feels light, then I'll do it. But that's the thing, it's being in the question with everything where you know what's true for you, and yet you're willing to recognize the pieces of information that are going to work for you and add to your life rather than to negate everything.
Yeah. And also that includes how you wear your hair, what you eat, what phone you buy. It includes everything. It's not just the big, big decisions.
No, it includes everything. Even if I drink this iced tea, what will my life be like in 5 years? Why? Because I'm inputting this in my body right now, and then slowly my body will be affected by what I put into it. But
Yeah.
then I'll be in a question with it, so actually my body can let me know if it wants it or not, rather than point of view that, hey, there's sugar in it, there's this or that. It's probably going to be bad, and it's going to disintegrate your body eventually, and you're going to be sick. Like how much, like as I'm talking about all those concepts, how much heavier are you getting just by hearing that?
I
How, and
actually,
just
I'm just really grateful that I don't really care about what's inside the things that I eat or drink or whatever. I'm like, if
I
my body
don't
wants it.
anymore. I don't anymore, and I used to be a freak. I used to doubt everything that I knew about what's true for me.
I have a hard
And I
time
used to
imagining.
listen to everybody else's point of view about what I should be eating and how I should be eating. And so I would look at the ingredients and see if I don't want to ingest all of it. And if there was one that I didn't, oh, no, I'm not having it. But the funny part is, once I stopped doing it, I stopped judging the food. It started contributing to me. And I probably have not been healthier in my life than for last year and a half.
Yeah, yeah, same here. And it's funny. I recently had some pain in my stomach, and I mean, it's the kind of thing that a few years ago I would have gone to the doctor and ask the doctor's advice and do this and do that. But I had this awareness and like, no, just go. I have a friend who works on bodies and she's pretty amazing. So I just did a session with her, and within an hour and a half it was gone. And then we talked about like food, and she said, you have to drink a lot of water. You have to drink a lot of water. And I cannot stop and thinking about Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, saying how much we overwater ourselves. And I'm like, yeah, I'm
Hey, I
not a.
never heard this concept before. Tell me more.
Well, he was like, you guys don't ask your body what to eat or drink. You overwater, you overeat, all of that. And I just love the expression you overwater yourself, because when you give too much water to a plant, you also kill the plant. You don't, there's so such thing as too much water. But excuse me, but people have just bought into the idea that water is good and you always need water. And yeah, you do. And I'm not saying don't drink water, but ask your body how much water it wants.
And again,
So
if it wasn't for the concept, for one of the concepts that actually contribute to it, and one of them is a doubt, then you would just know if, like, I'm not feeling like food, I'm not feeling like food. There wouldn't be a doubt. Do I need to eat? It's been like 7 hours since my last meal. We wouldn't doubt any of that. So we wouldn't overwater our body. We wouldn't water us.
what you're talking about actually is doubting our awarenesses. So the first part of this conversation, we talked about doubting ourselves. Now we're talking about doubting our awarenesses, which is the information that the universe gives us. And it's something that really only recently I got is that, the universe, consciousness has my back. So when I'm asking from a place of no judgment, when I'm asking for something to be created with consciousness, it will always, always support me. And so I can trust that the answer will be to create what it is that I'm asking for. So the doubt is also doubting something that's always been there for you.
Yeah, and what it would take to have total ease with what we're aware of and know and be all of it. But every time I say be all of it today, I think of this video that I posted on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, with a kid dancing to the I'm Sexy and I Know It. And he's dancing to the whole song in the middle of the stadium with thousands of people looking at him. And he's just having a best time of his life. And he's not willing to shrink. She's not looking into making, okay, I'm going to dance a little bit and then I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
No, he is going full on for it. And everybody is clapping and cheering him, and he's just enjoying. That's loudness of being that we are capable of, all of us. It's like,
yeah.
Can we please be all of it?
All of it. And at the same time, also Gary said recently, like, it's being you. It's not being more than you. It's just like being all of you. But there's nothing to add. There's nothing to improve. It's just like, for me, actually, when I'm relaxing, when I'm breathing, when I'm just right here asking a question, that's me being me. When I'm laying on table getting my bars run, that's me being me. I don't actually need to do I don't need to do anything. I'm creating all the time, but I don't need to do anything to be more me. I'm already me.
Exactly. It's not about being something else. It's about being you.
Yes.
There is this like a switch. There's like a tuning down, tuning up switch. It's like we can tune us down and be like, okay, I'm gonna be just like at this level of being, and I'm gonna be this loud, and I'm gonna be this present, and I'm gonna be this bright. And then there are days when you feel like you actually more of you, like as if you tuned it up, and now you're bright. You have like your whole being is shining through your skin, and everybody, when you walk by, they're like they turn around and they want to know what's different about you and how they can be all of it. But what if we were on that, like what if we were that on all the time? Like that kid dancing to that song. What if we could be that on all the time? Like my body goes like, yes, please.
I'm ready, baby.
Awesome. So, shall we leave it at this today?
Yes, that sounds good to me. That sounds good.
Mwah. Love you. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Daria, and we'll talk soon.
Catch us.
Mwah.